Hey there, Coast Life. Thanks for joining us again on this beautiful Tuesday. We are your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo, and yes, it is still hot outside.
Hot. Not as hot.
Not as hot.
But it's weird that it's like this hot, and we're like, it's so much cooler outside.
I know, right? We love it.
Yeah. We're weird.
But we also love talking about what you are talking about. That's how we always like to start off our show here and get the conversation going. Whether you want to continue it on our socials, you can. You can always follow us, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're there. And we love to see the comments and watch people play along. It's really fun.
So fun. And you can email us too, team@coastlife.com.
But one of the things that we wanted to kind of get started with was overprotective parents. I think there has I feel like every generation is a new generation of parents and new generations of parenting styles.
Yes.
And I think overprotective parents are probably a little bit more common nowadays than they may have been when we were growing up. Okay. I mean, I know for me, there's nothing that my parents wouldn't have done for us if we'd asked, if we needed them, if they loved us. They prepared us, but they also let us really succeed or fail on our own. And that's something that I always really appreciated about our parents, that like, if we were gonna do something stupid, we had to deal with the fact that we did something stupid. They weren't gonna bail us out. And it seems like overprotective parents these days are giving their teenagers and their kids a lot more like emotional anxiety and distress.
Okay, so my parents, definitely protective, definitely. My mom, super mama bear, 100%. She got me out of a lot of bad situations, or like potential would have been.
Yeah.
So shout out to her for that. So I can't say I'm mad about it. But now, as soon as you told me, I'm like, do I have emotional, like, am I too emotional? So I don't think so. It could just be a me problem.
Well, I don't know if overprotective is also sort of the same circle as like helicopter parents, or if it's if it's more like, oh, you can't go out because of this, that, or the other thing. Like, I'm not sure exactly where the crossover is. I'm sure there is a little bit of crossover between that sort of helicopter / overprotective. And I think it just does, like, when you do everything for your kids, and I know it's going to sound stupid coming from me because I don't have kids, but I feel like if my parents had done everything for us, like, I wouldn't be the same person that I am. Like, I'm glad that they let us do things on our own. I'd have done it. I would have done it anyway. That's the thing.
See, to this day, I can't make decisions. I call I can. I'm grown, but I can't. I call my mom sometimes, and I'm still like, okay, how would you handle this? I did it last night. No shame in the game. Yeah. So I'm gonna do it forever. Probably.
That's good though. Yeah. So like sometimes I feel like I don't call my mom enough for those sort of scenarios, because I'm just like, I was always a big like, I'll just do it myself then kind of kid. And I don't know if some of that is just second born, middle child, stubborn. I'm a stubborn person. And I think sometimes I'm like, well, if no one's going to do it for me, I'll just do it myself. I got this. Yeah. And I think I'm at that point in my life where like I should be handling this myself, and I just don't even think about calling my parents to guide me through it. And then I'm like, maybe I should.
You are very independent.
Because I'm like, do I not call them enough? Do I not talk to them enough? But I talk to my sister all the time, and my sister talks to my parents a lot, so they also feel like they're talking to me through her. But I'm like, I haven't actually called them or talked to them in a while.
I think I call my mom 18 times a day on a good day.
Oh,
well, hey, we turned out okay though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you fall somewhere in between us 18 times a day to 18 times a year,
you're doing great too.
You're doing it right.
They're watching right now like, no, you both have emotional damage. Like, what is going on?
You're like, ugh. Wasn't our fault. No. You guys were lost causes.
No, exactly. Let us know what you think though. Were your parents like really protective growing up, and how'd you turn out?
Yeah. Did your parents give you a good name?
What do you mean?
I mean, is your name Subway?
No, that's a great point, Leah. Because my name is not Subway.
Well, it could be.
It could be, and I'm kind of considering it. Tell them why.
All right. Well, you were telling me about this earlier, that Subway, apparently, I don't know if this is a new thing or if this has been like a long-standing secret that like if it happens, they've always done this for you, but it was sort of, again, an unspoken sort of rule. But allegedly, if you legally change your name to Subway, the sandwich store, will give you free Subway.
Forever.
For a lifetime.
I'm kind of considering it. You guys don't have to call me Subway.
Paige, Subway, Paige,
Subway
Marley.
Yeah, I mean, look, free subs for a year. Think about what you could do with that too. Like when y'all come to my wedding, we're just eating Subway. My funeral, Subway. Like
every event.
Get ready. Lots of Subway. But apparently,
we loved Subway.
I know.
She was so sweet.
While you eat your subs.
But do you, Subway, take your
Oh, shoot, you're right. Oh, my poor kids, like birth certificates.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so maybe I won't. But look, a free Subway for a year, you could do a lot of good.
You said a lifetime, more than a year.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
That's forever, right?
For years. Yeah, it starts in August, but you do have to apply, actually. So I love this because they're taking applications this month. And so I'm just curious, like, do they have so many people interested that they have to turn people away? Are they worried that too many people will name their self Subway?
I mean,
Can you name your kid Subway?
If you take a scroll through TikTok, you see a lot of people that are like, I'd do anything for a free meal, or, you know, like there's a lot of people are desperate for money. It takes, like you said, it takes groceries off the list. I mean, I just don't know that I could eat Subway for every meal forever for the rest of my life.
I could. I could eat anything for the rest of my life.
I don't think it's for me. I don't think I will be changing my name to Subway Rizzo.
That's fair. But you got Subway Marley.
Subway Marley, my new co-host.
I do it.
And one more thing before we kind of dive into the show, we were talking about maybe something that's really, really common that it feels like everybody's done, but you're like, you know what? I've actually never done that.
You know, I get this I'm going to not exaggerate here, almost every day I get this of you haven't seen insert movie name here.
Oh my God, that's like my entire relationship.
Is it? Do you see a lot of movies, or does he?
He sees a lot of movies. Okay. And like I thought I had seen a lot of movies until we started going out, and I was like, I've never seen any of those movies.
Yeah, I get made fun of that a lot. I've also never gone through having to get braces.
Same.
Hey! I feel like that's a normal thing. Everyone talks about their braces, their retainers growing up, and we can't relate. No. Sorry. Perfect teeth. Same thing they're watching right now, like, we can tell.
Right, they're like, yeah, we know that one's a little crooked. I think there's a lot of restaurants that I've never been to, and I feel like because everybody always talks about them and I'm like in on the inside joke, but I'm like, actually I'm not. Like, I've never been to a Cracker Barrel.
Really?
I don't think I've ever eaten at a Cracker Barrel.
Ooh, what? So you never played the little Cracker Barrel game that they have at all the tables?
No, I never played.
All right.
See, I'm missing out. Didn't know that about the Cracker Barrel lore.
We're going to Cracker Barrel, Leah.
We know where we're going. But you don't have to go anywhere. We've got a great show planned for you. Coming up on Coast Life, we are talking about the Tomato Festival.
We're also talking about getting you home safely because it's Tuesday, so we have a get home safely tip from our friends at SEASIDE KRAV.
And it's a new month, so we're going to be taking a look back at some of our favorite July moments. All that and more is coming your way with more Coast Life when we get back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, and Shell.
Over the weekend, the Milford High School Auditorium was dedicated to their former music director, Jerry Thompson. Here to tell us more about this incredible gentleman and his legacy is his daughter, Gretchen Pikus. So Gretchen, tell us a little bit more about your father.
My father served in Vietnam, 2 tours. He was a ranger in a LRP unit. And so he saw quite a bit of action in Vietnam. And he really came back very young. He had always been involved in music, very interested in playing in bands, did as I was a baby, and found a job where he could play in a band and get a salary. So
it doesn't get better than that.
That worked out for him, yes. Yes, I've heard some stories of students in the 1972 were really shocked to see the music director walk in with long hair.
Yeah.
So that was unique for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think, you know, music, musical theater, the performing arts, it's such an incredible outlet for so many kids. And whether it's discovering who you are while you're growing up, or maybe it's even an outlet for somebody who served in Vietnam. You know, the performing arts are really special. What do you think it was for your father to share that with students as they grow up?
He always told me to find a job that you really enjoyed that was cool.
Yeah.
So I think he absolutely did.
Yeah.
I think he absolutely did.
So they've decided to rename the auditorium in his memory.
Yes.
So what does that mean to you?
The effort was very much led by 2 of his former students, Paula Bragg and Tricia Rosigno. And to be very honest, they just kind of took the plan and ran with it completely. Created a GoFundMe. I was definitely not surprised by the quality of the performances, but surprised by the performances and how meaningful They were in choices of music selection.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome.
And you were telling me, I mean, not even just a music director, but he really did a little bit of everything when it came to sort of running that auditorium. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. Some stories are a little amusing.
Sure.
He would actually climb scaffolding to change lights and lighting booths, which they now have made lower to the ground. So he did. In fact, Dr. Resigno had spoken about how when he first came into the auditorium, he told him to check under every seat. He would not find any gum.
Wow.
So he found
High
that
school auditorium, that's impressive.
big deal to him.
It
Yes.
is a big deal. It is. Well, that's his space, and he kept it clean. And you're telling me about some sketches too that you found, right?
Yes. So in the musical, he would sketch out each of the different sets for whatever the location, the setting of the scene was. He was fortunate in his early years to have some really awesome art teachers next to him, Jack Kunkel and Helen Lucia, and they actually really encouraged his art. So he was an artist as well. We have a lot of personal family charcoal portraits and things like that. So yes, music and art.
They go hand in hand a lot of the times.
Absolutely.
Now, what is something that you hope about your father's legacy maybe that lives on in the newly named auditorium and maybe with each new class of students that comes through that loves music?
I have already seen, and I enjoy when I watch students perform and they feel empowered, confident, and really great about what they're doing.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
So I've already seen that from next classes. So if that just keeps going, that will be an honor.
Well, do you still come back and check out these performances in their newly named auditorium?
Well, so it just was named this weekend, but I had been there before. Also, the auditorium is very special. It's a place where my sister and I grew up.
Yeah.
Because of being there the whole time. And my daughter also danced on the stage for over 10 years. Yeah. So it's a special place, those squeaky seats.
Yeah, there is something special about the squeaky seats in that auditorium.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and
thank you for
sharing
having
about your father's legacy and then a newly named auditorium. Like we said, we love to highlight incredible people in our community and all along coastal Delmarva.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Well, we've got more incredible community members to highlight on the way when Coast Life gets back.
Carpentry, culinary arts, robotics, and fire science are just some of the things the students can participate through Worcester County's Tourism and Economics STATT Summer Camp. Though this camp is far from the norm, as students rising from 8th to 12th grade have the chance to sharpen their skills or discover pathways in trades, architecture, tourism, and technology. Worcester County's Public Schools Coordinator of Instruction, Tamara Mills, shows how the camp stands out amongst others in the area.
They really love the fact that they can do hands-on activities in the summer. You know, Summer Academy sometimes has a stigma of being something that's remediation-based, and in Worcester County we try really hard to make sure that Summer Academy is fun as well as educational. So they really enjoy having the hands-on opportunities to build things, design things, explore. So it's been really great.
Hands-on is a great way to explain the program, as each student not only is taught about their selected pathway, but demonstrates and creates projects based on their new knowledge.
So they are able to go through different pathways, such as new this year is fire science. We also have coding and robotics. We have digital arts, ag science and marine biology, culinary, which is always very popular with the students, also welding, carpentry. So it's really a taste of what the school generally has to offer during the school year, but in a camp style for students who may not have the opportunity in the school year to do those things and to really get them to look at what they want to do as a career.
A program that lasts 2 weeks goes further than you think, as we got to see the students put their skills into action. I even got a chance to fly the drone.
Make it take off. Okay, it's up. It's running. Then this will make your drone go fly upwards. This one? Yeah, because you have to move it up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, now you're rotating it. Okay. How do I move it into the So you want your camera, you can You know, in here.
Okay.
You want your camera to face the heat.
Okay.
And then
How do I bring it back?
Though my flying skills weren't as successful as Trinity Lewis from the robotics pathway.
we're going to, okay, wait, we gotta back up.
All right. She's backing it up,
And then we're
y'all.
gonna move up and just go through the thing.
Oh my God, it was so close.
And then it already went down for me. I don't know
Okay.
why. But we're just gonna go through that one. And then move up a little bit more.
These passionate students are even able to try different pathways throughout the program to see which area will be the best first step into their future. The success behind the program originates from leaders who love to see students from everywhere succeed.
Because this is funded through Rural Maryland Council, the Tri-County Council, Economic Development Office, and our county commissioners.
A program that teaches students trades firsthand allows students to have experience that lead to their future careers.
They provided the funding to do this. The program, in addition to just the summer camp, also looks for opportunities for students to do interning and apprenticeships.
So boys and girls, stay on the lookout for Worcester County's Tourism and Economic Development STAT program to bring some fun and creativity to your summer. Though the program has concluded for the summer, students can be the first to join by visiting Worcester Technical High School's website for the upcoming 2024 season.
You're watching Coast Life. We all have maybe a favorite beach or a favorite scene on the beach, a favorite place to watch the sun rise or set. And did you know you can get that scene in your home so you can look at it every day? Not too hard to do.
Yes, and they're all very inspiring. You know, there are so many ways to capture those amazing
Yes.
sunsets, be it a photograph or perhaps a painting. So we are going to introduce to you an artist in Lewis, Abraxas.
Right in downtown Lewis, you'll find an enchanting art gallery that houses beautiful landscapes in oils, graphite works, portraits, and more. The COASTLIFE crew had a chance to sit down with the artist behind those works at Abraxas Studio of Art.
So I was born and raised here in Lewis, and after high school I went to Washington State and did a 6-week oil painting course. Then basically traveled around the country for about 10 years, just wandering all over national parks looking for things to paint. Then I came back, opened a gallery in Milton in about 2004 and had that for 6 years. And basically decided downtown Lewis would offer more foot traffic.
Having grown up in the area surrounded by scenic wetlands, it's no surprise that Lewis native Abraxas Hudson loves depicting views that make people feel calmer.
So what I really love to paint are scenes that are relaxing. I really figured that we need some calming beauty in the world. And my paintings quite often hang opposite a TV. So I'm trying to calm down that chaos in the room, right? That's kind of the idea.
Everyone has to start somewhere, and for Abraxas, he fell in love with art at snack time.
So my first art memory is painting with chocolate pudding in kindergarten. And I just remember thinking, wow, I can really get into art. My two favorite things, right? Creating something and eating chocolate. So I started painting when I was very small, like most kids. And then I just really stuck to it. And I started showing when I was 14 and 15. And then I just decided this is what I wanted to do as a career path.
Artists capture what inspire them most. The same rings true for Abraxas.
My favorite painters in history are the Hudson River School painters, and their big thing was glorifying nature with light. What I really love to do is to travel to a place and figure out what's the most iconic scene, or what scene really resonates with me and makes me think of the best essence of a place. So in the Cape and Lopin State Park, I do a lot of paintings in there. I go on walks through there almost every day. And then so I'm trying to figure out a place that really speaks to the natural elements of an area. And then I think about the atmospheric conditions, lighting, sky, clouds, wave conditions, ocean conditions. And then I put all those pieces together and formulate a scene that I think really kind of accentuates the best features of an area.
Many artists take different approaches to creating their pieces. For some, it's working from a reference. For Abraxas, it's about working from a feeling.
So a lot of times what I'll do is rather than copy a photograph, I like to really paint my memory or feeling of a place. So if I can paint the spirit of a place that really connects with me, then I figure it may connect with others as well.
Abraxas explains his techniques and walks through his mindset when creating a masterpiece.
So oil paint is my favorite, basically because it stays wet for a long time, and I do what's called wet on wet. So I'm always blending and formulating within a scene all the various colors that I'll use to create the end product. and it requires a lot of layering, a lot of mixing on the canvas. And oil is nice because you have the option of being both transparent or opaque. So I can do basically what I call experiments, right? I'll just try something, and if it works, great, I'll continue, and if not, I'll try something else.
So how does Abraxas create such beautiful works of art? One little piece at a time.
I just really take my time. Basically, every square centimeter matters in a painting. So like I do a lot with light. So when you're painting with light, you have to really think about the light source. And then every little aspect of the painting has to correlate to the light source in order for it to be one cohesive piece. So you really have to just zero in on all the little subtleties within the scene to define what's struck by light, what's in shadow, and how the light is interacting with the subjects. My smaller works, a few weeks to a month. My bigger works of art, 5, 6, sometimes 7 months.
So how does Abraxas create such beautiful works of art? One little piece at a time.
And then once a year I do an oil painting course, which is very similar to the oil painting course I took in Washington State back in 1993. The real foundation of art, I believe, as far as the visual arts go, is pencil. So really learning how to study a scene and differentiate objects within the scene based on tone, texture, the values. You know, you're really trying to figure out how to differentiate subjects within a scene and then make them all come together in a cohesive scene. So observation is really the foundation, and that's what I teach in my classes, how to see the world.
So what does Abraxas hope to accomplish with his work? To inspire people to get outside.
For me, one of the big reasons I love to paint nature is I really want to inspire people to get outside, and especially to enjoy our parks, our state parks, our national parks. I think that we can all benefit from immersing ourselves in nature and really treasuring the land that was set aside for us to enjoy in perpetuity. So basically the trunk is thicker, comes up and gets thinner. Same with the branches. They start out thicker and then they get thinner. So your branches are thick and they get thin. So with a tree, you're coming from a thicker trunk, coming up through a thinner series of branches.
I love that he offers classes, especially to younger upcoming artists who are interested in pursuing that as a full-time career, because that's another hard one that's like, it's difficult to get your parents on board to support your career as an artist.
Do you know from experience, Leah?
My family used to tease me so bad, because I wanted to be an animator once upon a time, and they were like, what have you do though?
No, she really is a fantastic artist though. For soaps, no you are. Someone like Leah, I think that would be a great gift to give someone or just a way to treat yourself.
Yes.
There you go.
Here we are, first day of a new month. It's August.
Woo, July zoom, flew by.
It did, but it didn't fly by so fast that we didn't take a time to remember all the fun stuff that we got to do and see and all of our favorite memories of July. So we are going to take a little look back through last month as we get ready for a new month. Check it out.
I help guide this back and forth, okay? It's all right.
Why didn't you wear that $50 shirt, girl?
I put it on and then I was like, you know what, I don't like it.
Did you return the shirt?
I lost the receipt. So I lost my money.
There's a little football in here. This makes me, I was telling them, I want to have a Super Bowl party just so I can put this out. Why was it so breezy at the ball game? Because the stadium was packed with fans. You're a tough one to crack. Okay, one more. Let's see. It has to come out your nose. That's how you know you're feeling. Okay, what did...
Dang it!
I bought a vibrating hairbrush because it was supposed to like massage your like head while you're brushing your hair.
What is your favorite food at the Delaware State Fair?
The funnel cakes with the Oreos because they put all the stuff on top of it. It's really good.
Ingredients.
Really, this is what it must be like to be a princess.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Amazing food.
And I couldn't imagine that being 12 inches. Way too much. That's like a big pizza.
I thought it was gonna be super strong, but everything mixes really, really well. That's amazing.
You felt it at the same time I
Yes,
did.
the cinnamon.
The cinnamon kick, yes.
Everyone leaves mini golf happy.
Yes.
You know, having fun.
Kind of just happened so quickly, you know. It was just like he was with me and then he was under the lawnmower.
First responders say Zeke's dad, Jonathan's actions were critical. He jumped into action right away to save his son's life.
It's always hard when we look back to pick a favorite moment.
Yes.
Do you have any?
I'm going to say we ate a lot of good food this month, Leah.
Yeah. I think that's what I was thinking too. I
Yeah.
mean, we had Crust and Craft, we had Northeast,
Lobster
we've had
rolls,
yes,
ice
oh my
cream.
God, ice cream. We've had a lot of ice cream in the studio over the
banana
past month.
splits. I'm hungry.
Hopkins. I mean, there's been a lot of great ice cream.
So, are you hungry now? 'Cause I
That's what
really
know.
am.
I'm always hungry by this time in the day
Yes.
too. So it hurts a little to relive all the amazing moments and all the amazing food that we've had over the past month. But I think we'll get over it.
August is going to be fantastic too. I'm excited to see what August brings, and thanks for following along with us. We're having a great summer with you guys.
Yes, and one thing that we do know August will be bringing today is, of course, another Get Home Safely tip, which we've got on the way when Coast Life gets back. You know we love summer all along coastal Delmarva, and nothing says summer like a perfect, ripe, juicy tomato. And here to talk tomatoes are our friends Helene Harris with the historic Lewis Farmers Market and Lenore Brady with the
Stag Run Farm.
Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Now, you guys have an event coming up with historic Lewis Farmers Market. Helene, tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, it's going to be August 5th at George H.B. Smith Park at our regular Saturday market, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. We want everybody to come out. It's the 15th year we've done a tomato festival, and we're celebrating our favorite fruit. And also we're celebrating National Farmers Market Week, which is August 6th to August 12th, and that's what we do to celebrate that week.
Perfect. So you're kind of kicking it all
We're
off with
kicking
this
it all
tomato
off.
festival.
Right. It's going to be a great day. We're going to start with the biggest tomato at market contest, and we encourage people to bring their biggest tomato. Public welcome, farmers welcome. You can bring your tomato between 8 and 9:45 a.m. We're going to judge at 10, okay? And there's first, second, third, and fourth prize ribbons, really nice ribbons. And then we're also doing something that's a real customer favorite. Guess the number of tomatoes in the jar.
Oh, fun.
That's from 8 to 11 a.m. A lot of kids like to do it. That's going to be near the information tent, and the person who gets closest or actually guesses the number of tomatoes gets $100 gift certificate to Heirloom Restaurant in Lewis.
Ooh. Now, do you remember maybe what the biggest tomato you've seen so far is in that biggest tomato contest?
Oh, wow. What was it?
What was that? We won for the
Yeah?
last 2 years.
Congratulations.
Our farm, Stag Run Farm. And we start prepping for this right away. We're on it. The biggest one that we have is called a Virginia Sweet. Happens to be the one in the middle there.
Ooh.
That's very low in acid, excellent heirloom tomato.
Yeah. So we keep saying heirloom tomato. Is that something that maybe people think they see a lot of, but maybe it's actually not as common as you might think? What is the heirloom tomato?
Well, the heirloom tomato is an old school tomato that is passed down over the years and over the families and over the farms. It is something that we cherish the seeds of the heirloom tomato. As you can see, they are not the prettiest tomatoes, but they are the tastiest. And they're nice and bold, and they have once you do an heirloom, you don't go back. It is something that we as a farmer love in our Delaware dirt to be able to bring to the market, to the farmer's market, the most delicious tomatoes in the market. Remember, you can only get these tomatoes at a farmer's market, the historic Lewis Farmer's Market.
Yeah. So what do people tend to see in stores then when they are buying tomatoes?
They'll see a hybrid tomato.
Okay.
And the difference between a hybrid tomato and an heirloom tomato, besides what she was talking about, is an heirloom tomato is open pollinated.
Correct.
Which means that you save the seeds every year, and you plant the seed and you get the same fruit.
Okay,
A
yeah.
hybrid is a combination of a couple of different tomatoes, and so if you save those seeds, you're not going to get the same tomato. They're very good tomatoes. This is a hybrid tomato. It's a beautiful tomato, right? But to me, it doesn't have the great taste of an heirloom, but they're nice tomatoes. And you'll find these at the market,
And
farmer's market.
they're probably waxed if they're in the stores. So they have a coating on them to keep them, you know, everything we want today is people want it, the shelf life. They want to keep it for weeks on end. And that's the one thing when I sell these at the farmers markets, I tell the people, eat it.
Yep.
Don't look at it, eat it. You
Yeah.
come into the farmers market, you're going to get the freshest, the best from our farms to your table.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's also sort of plays into, you mentioned the heirloom tomatoes not being the prettiest. I actually, as somebody who's a very visual learner, I love them. I love the way they look. I love that they're, you know, imperfect, I guess, so to speak. But I think when it comes to shopping at the grocery store in your supermarket, you might see something like that and you're like, oh, it doesn't look
You're missing out.
good, but you're missing out.
If you turn this away because you just don't. And also, we don't really spray them. We're trying to keep the chemicals off of our food. So coming to the farmers market, you're gonna deal with people that care about our food as much as our customers do.
Yes, and I love that. I live for that. I also live for the fact that some of these tomatoes have been cut up, which means we're going to get to sample some of these, which I'm very excited about. So where should we start? What have you brought in today? Because there's quite a lot.
Well, we have the Cherokee Purple,
okay,
which is in here.
All right.
We have the German Head in the middle. This is the pineapple. Pineapple. So they're all names that are from years ago.
Yeah.
Whoever developed the seed or wherever they found the seed, and then they're keeping. We pass these seeds down through the family.
All right. Well, I want to dive right into these. So where should I start?
Purple Cherokee.
Purple Cherokee. All right. Here we go. Purple Cherokee. It's really juicy. It's not too sweet. It's just, what would you recommend with that? Is that like a good
tomato sandwich, I think,
absolutely.
right?
Now we're talking. Tomato sandwiches.
Little
is one
salt
of
and
my,
pepper. That's all you need.
Little salt and pepper, maybe even sometimes a little bit of mayo, and it's like the best thing ever.
It would be great.
Love that. All right, who's next?
Well, we're going to do the German Head.
Okay.
And I like to use a little balsamic vinegar with this.
Ooh, that sounds great.
I love it in a salad. I just
Okay.
love it in a salad, but just a little balsamic vinegar, a little salt and pepper, and the tomato is the flavor, not throwing all that stuff on
Any
top of
extra
a salad.
thing.
Yeah, you don't need to with these tomatoes.
The tomato's the star.
That's right.
I wish that you could taste these tomatoes. I'm doing it for you, and I am enjoying every second of it because sometimes tomatoes on their own are a little, you're like, I'm not sure about it. They can be a little bland, but this is so flavorful, so amazing. Again, so juicy, like it just,
Remember,
perfect.
you can only get these at the farmer's market.
I will
so
be
you have to go to
paying
the
you a
farmer's
visit.
market.
I like this tomato. This is one of my favorite heirlooms is pineapple tomato.
Yeah, I'm
So
really
you have to
excited about
taste
this
it.
one.
I would take it and I would slice it. I would slice some fresh watermelon from the market and maybe a little bit of mozzarella and a little bit basil from the garden, and that's what I would do with it. It's a yellow tomato. I think you're going to find it's less acidic.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely less acidic. So yeah, if you are somebody that maybe you don't like that acidity, or maybe sometimes tomatoes just they don't sit well with you, this might be a good option for it.
Yeah,
So
get a
good.
yellow tomato.
Yep. And the colors. Look at the colors. If you have you're having a party, you have a cheese tray, you have a,
they're
you
beautiful.
want to just have
I
a
love
fresh
cheese and
farm,
tomato.
fresh farm dinner. You can't ask for anything better than that.
They all make great gazpachos too. Combine them at great gazpacho.
Oh my gosh, well you heard it from these ladies, and how beautiful do these tomatoes look? They look amazing, they taste even better than they look, which is hard to believe, but it's true. Give us the details one more time about the Tomato Festival.
It's Tomato Festival at George H.P. Smith Park in Lewis, Delaware, Saturday, August 5th, 8 to noon. If you got a tomato for the contest, bring that between 8 and 9:45, and we hope that I know we're going to see something really great that's going to win that prize.
I'm sure you will. I can't wait. I'll have to be there.
And come taste some tomatoes. Come
Yes.
to the festival and taste some tomatoes.
Yes, you've got to taste them yourself because they are so, so good. But you know what else is going to be good? More Coast Life, which is headed your way.
All right, Coast Life team, it's Tuesday, so you know what that means. We are helping you get home safely with our friends at SEASIDE KRAV MAGA. It's hard to believe we've done so many safety tips.
I know.
There's so many ways to keep us safe.
It's right. I mean, on one hand, it does kind of scare you a little bit because you're like, there really are so many ways that you could be in a potentially dangerous situation. But thankfully, our friends from Seaside KRAV MAGA are here to teach us ways to not even get in those scenarios in the first place and to get out of them if you do.
Right, and that's a big focus today. We're talking about preemptions and indicators. So if you look kind of closely in this one, you're going to see Ted and Chris may have a fake knife on them, and they're going to be going through moves to show you body language, just ways to avoid getting in that in the first place. But I want to give you a heads up. There is a little disclaimer in this video, so while you're watching, take a look at that and then enjoy this week's safety tip.
Hi, I'm Ted.
And I'm Chris from Seaside KRAV MAGA. This week, we're going to talk about pre-indicators that show you that you're being threatened and preemption, how to deal with it early. As soon as you see him do this, don't wait for the zombie. Okay? As soon as he starts to do this, kick him and be gone. As soon as it's coming. I don't want to grab him if I don't have to. I want to be here and go boom and leave.
When it comes to violence and defending yourself using violence, three things have to be present. You have to have intent. In other words, the words or actions from the attacker that would lead a reasonable person to think that they're about to attack you or possibly kill you or hurt you. The second thing is capability. They have to have weapons. It could be a knife or a gun. It could be a club or a bat or anything like that. It could be also what we call force disparity, and that means multiple attackers, more than one person. Third thing that has to be present is opportunity. The attacker has to be immediately available or close, has immediate access to where you are and to be able to cause injury. So if those three things aren't present, intent, capability, and opportunity, you're gonna have a hard time justifying why you used violence to defend yourself.
Self-defense is a legal term. It's not what you do. But if you could leave, you really have a responsibility to do it. Why did you both puff your chests out, start doing this, and then one person shoves the other? The other takes a swing, and the first person defends himself. Is it really defense? No. It's agreed upon fighting, it's illegal in, I believe, all but one state in the country. You're not going to be able to declare self-defense.
When you've used violence to defend yourself, there's a point where you have to stop. You can't continue pummeling that person on the ground. If the person gives up, if the person runs away, if they're on the ground and no longer capable of attacking you or hurting you, you need to stop. Well, I hope you enjoyed our tips on how to get home safely today and what to do if you think somebody's about to hurt you or attack you and how to preemptively deal with that. If you're interested in more training, you can come to our Facebook page, Seaside KRAV MAGA, and find our contact information there and register for a class to do more training.
And you know, Leah, we normally talk about doing the private classes with your friends, but also something Chris said that I thought was really interesting was for these get home safely tips, especially for the young women out there, if you are thinking of something that you would want to learn, maybe you've been in a scary situation before, you wish you knew how to handle it better, or maybe you're just, it's a scenario you think about a lot and you think, how would I get out of this? They said, let us know. Let them know, and they'll let you know how to avoid it or get out of it.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool. Yeah, they always answer our crazy questions.
Yes, and we do have them. We're like, what if?
Yes, yes. So if you'd like, you can email us, team@coastlife.com. We'll pass those messages along to them and help you get home safely. All right, we're also helping you get to the next portion of Coast Life. We have a little bit more to get to, so don't go anywhere.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Seaside KRAV MAGA. All
right, Coast Life, it's time for us to let you go, but we want to remind you of a couple things we want you to do after you're done watching Coast Life.
Yes, we always like to hear from you, have you participate in the conversations that we're having. We want you to chime in a little bit with like, what's something that seems like everyone's done. Everybody's done this, it's a common shared experience, but you're like, you know what, I actually haven't done that.
Can't relate, exactly.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel was mine.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel.
I'd never been.
Girl, we're going. That won't be long.
We know our dinner plans.
We'll fix that soon, exactly. And also let us know, like, if you're being serious, would you change your name to Subway?
For a lifetime supply of Subway.
Let us know.
A lifetime sentence of Subway.
They have fantastic white chocolate macadamia nut cookies.
I forgot you were talking about that.
I do love those. I would do it just for the cookies.
Worth it just for the cookies.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Us Subway folk know.
But yes, we always love to hear from you, so chime in on our socials. Facebook, we're there. We love to see the comments. Yes. You can also always email us too sometimes if you're a little bit shy maybe. You don't want everybody to see your love of Subway maybe.
That's fair.
You can always email us, team@coastlife.com. We love to hear from you there too.
Yes, we do, and we love